Designee registration and renewal in the Illinois Shines program. Designees are third-party entities that have direct interaction with the end-use consumer. This can include installers, entities that perform maintenance and repair, marketing firms, community solar subscriber agents, lead generators, sales organizations, and more. All companies that interact with the end-use customer must register as a designee in the program. And the purpose of this requirement is to increase transparency to consumers. So all designees are publicly listed on our designee report, and potential customers can look at this report and verify that a company is a registered program participant and is in good standing with the program. A designee of a designee is referred to as a nested designee. Nested designees can only hold marketing, sales, installer, and/or maintenance and repair roles. Approved vendors are the only entity that can register their designee as a disclosure form or community solar subscriber agent designee directly under their account. There are currently 5 defined designee types. This includes disclosure form designees, which generate disclosure forms on behalf of the approved vendor, community solar subscriber agent designees, which manage the community solar subscription information for an approved vendor's community solar projects, marketing or sales designees, which act as marketing agents and/or customer acquisition agents on behalf of the approved vendor or another designee. Installer designees, which are designated to install systems on behalf of the approved vendor or designee. Maintenance and repair designees, which are entities that perform routine maintenance, monitoring, or repair to a system after solar installation on behalf of the approved vendor or designee. Steps to register as a designee in the program include first, identifying an approved vendor or designee and working with this entity to register as a designee under their account. So on the Illinois Shines website, there is a list of approved vendors and a list of designees in the program, which can be found on our Find an Approved Vendor, Designee, or Subcontractor webpage. The next step is to complete the linked designee registration form and a company information form and submit this to the program administrator. So the form below here is the designee registration form. The first 2 fields on the top, the approved vendor, parent designee, name and ID fields should be filled out by the company that the designee is registering under. And then under the designee and nested designee information, this should be filled out by the company registering as a designee in the program. And they will need to initial and sign the attestations on the bottom of this form. So once you complete this registration form, the next step is to submit this form along with the supporting documentation listed here to admin@illinoisshines.com with an Illinois Secretary of State Statement of Good Standing dated within the past 12 months, minimum equity standard compliance plan. This is required of all program entities unless you are an equity eligible contractor. So if your company qualifies as an equity eligible contractor, you can submit this to the program upon registering as a designee as well. And lastly, a distributed generation installer certificate with the Illinois Commerce Commission. This is only required if you are registering as an installer designee and will be installing systems projects that will be submitted to the program. And all of these items should be submitted to the program administrator by the approved vendor or parent designee that the designee is registering under. If it is not submitted directly by the approved vendor or parent designee, they should at least be included on the email to provide visibility for this request. Designees are not permitted to self-register under another program participant, so we do need to verify that this registration is authorized by the approved vendor or designee that will be registering this entity under their account. Once all items are received, application review will take 2 to 4 weeks. The Illinois Shines Program Administrator will intake and process the registration request and will follow up as needed if any other clarification is needed on the application. If items are not submitted, the review process may take longer than these 2 to 4 weeks. And once it is processed, you will receive a confirmation email from admin@illinoisshines.com that you have been registered as a designee, along with a designee ID in the program. Designees are required to renew their status in the program annually. During the designee renewal period, designees will submit a renewal form for that program year and submit the following supplemental documentation to the program administrator. This will include an Illinois Secretary of State Statement of Good Standing dated within the past 12 months, and training materials or any training certificates of completion showing that your agents or staff have been trained in accordance with program requirements. These training materials can be anything developed internally or anything administered to your company by the approved vendor or designee that you are registered under.